Hey guys, what's going on? Sam here, your boy back again with another video, and oh my gosh, I think Apple may have finally done it, at least in my experience. So they just released a brand new update specifically for AirPods Pro today, and if you know anything about AirPods Pro, this has been a pair of wireless headphones absolutely plagued by issue after issue, from the saga of Apple sending unreleased firmwares out to customers having to get multiple replacement AirPods Pro since they bought them. It hasn't been the smooth launch Apple hoped for. So I want to take a look at what's new in today's 2D27 update. I do wish the naming was a bit simpler, but it's not. So drop a like if you guys are excited, hit subscribe for more, and let's go ahead and jump in. Set aside everything else we've heard about AirPods Pro, there's one thing that we've heard time and time again, so much to the point where it's almost become a meme anytime there is a firmware update, and that is about noise cancellation. I mean, the headlining feature for AirPods Pro that you could walk around in a subway outside and just be in complete and utter silence. And since day one, people have been saying it hasn't been as good. The initial firmware was really great. I mean, it got so bad to the point where people were creating like graphs and diagrams and writing posts about things just to try and get a handle on what the issue was. That then brings us to today's update, which is 2D27. So if you don't know how to update it, it's actually a little bit more complicated than you'd think. You essentially have to put your AirPods inside of their charging case, plug your AirPods in with the lightning cable or set it on a wireless charging pad, and then set them near your iPhone, and your iPhone has to be connected to the internet, and then they should automatically update. I followed those steps exactly. I was using them earlier today, took them out, put them in the case, plugged them in, set my iPhone there, and they were updated within probably an hour at the very most, but it should only take a couple of minutes. You can verify by going into settings, general, about, and then if your AirPods are connected, just go to tap on them right there, and look at that. I've got the new firmware where before I had the older, I think, 2D15. So what's new in today's update? Because that's a question that we ask every single time, and unfortunately and weirdly not one that Apple ever answers themselves. When you get a new iOS update, there's a changelog. When you get a new Mac update, when you get a new tvOS update, I mean, Apple's to the point where they're announcing new features for AirPods at their developers conference, yet we still don't get a changelog for smaller updates like this. I mean, it would really make the process of knowing if issues would be fixed a lot easier. That being said, I wanted to put AirPods Pro to the test this time, so I used them before updating on 2D15 and after on 2D27, and I have to tell you, take this with a grain of salt, because everybody seems to have a different experience with this product, but for me, it finally seems like noise cancellation is really good again. I got AirPods Pro the day that they came out. I think it was like October 30th, and maybe they came in a day or two later. So I remember how it sounded on day one. I could barely hear anything around me whatsoever outside, by cars, by loud fans or whatever, and I couldn't hear anything. And then after that, it got a little bit weaker, and for some people, it got substantially weaker. So I tried 2D15 out before updating, listened to a song, put on noise cancellation, tapped around my desk, stood in a room where there was a lot of wind and fan noise. Then I updated to 2D27, and I noticed a substantial improvement in the quality and filtering of noise cancellation. As soon as I put them in, I noticed my brain say, wait a second, this sounds a lot better. And it really reminded me of the levels I was at when AirPods Pro first came out. I think Apple may have finally fixed it in this update, but of course, I want to hear your thoughts on this. I mean, initially on Reddit, I asked, I was like, did anybody notice anything different? And a number of people, more than I've seen in the past, said that they also thought that noise cancellation had been fixed or at least made better. Other people said, they didn't notice a difference or it got a little bit worse. I mean, that's going to be the mix when you don't have a changelog, but I've noticed more than I've seen in the past of people saying it feels better. Like for the first time since launch, my AirPods noise cancellation is improved. The second thing I want to address is popping and clicking issues. Okay, I think I talked about this at some point in my last video, but this is a hardware issue with AirPods apparently. It is not software related, and yes, it might only happen sometimes when you're watching YouTube videos or playing certain music, but I believe according to what Apple has put out on their support website and documentation, you gotta contact Apple and get your AirPods Pro replaced. I've seen a number of comments in recent months, especially on my last video, that people are saying it's still crackling, it's still popping, it still doesn't sound right. That is because there's a defect. So contact Apple. Every single person has a warranty for AirPods because AirPods Pro have not been out for a year yet, and you get a free year warranty with every new Apple product. And then finally, the sound profile on the new 2D27 update sounds pretty much to me like AirPods have always sound. I don't know, I've seen some anecdotal evidence out there that the bass is a little bit punchier, but to me, it sounds pretty much the same as normal. But then again, I don't use my AirPods Pros as much as my AirPods 2. So this is hopefully the end of a chapter for AirPods Pro. Again, let me know your experience before and after updating down below in the comment section and over on Twitter at iupdate. Follow me there. All right, that's all for for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, hit subscribe for more, and I'll catch all of you in my next video.